run game philosophy. We want to get the football to the other force defender. And what I mean by that is if the defense wants the safety to tackle the ball, they're trying to make their run fit so the safety's the tackler, whether it's cover 4, whether it's a drop down safety in cover 3, and they're boxing everything back to them, whatever. We don't want that guy to make the play. We want the corner to make the tackle. So a lot of times we'll talk about blocking the box and then the support defender, all right? And then also defining who the running back has to be. I'll never forget 2012, we were playing, actually, I was at a previous place and we were playing Colgate, and we went into the game telling our tailback, hey, this is the guy that's going to be tackling you on almost every play. You have to beat him. And we've gone into a lot of games like that over the years, and we've had a lot of really successful rushers and runners of the football. So as long as you can define it so they know who's going to be left unblocked, I think that helps, as tailbacks. So, again, just some broad statements here before we get into the film. All right, run game philosophy, to continue on that. We don't want to just block our gap and shield people. I think that's a misconception with the zone game and the power game, all right, is that if you get a pressure or if you get a run-through linebacker, you just got to shield them. I don't think that's the case. I think you want to dominate your gap. I think you want to move it vertically or horizontally. When the gaps move, defenders have to think. You know what I'm saying? Like when the gaps move and you're able to take a 3 technique vertical, that gap now that second level defender says, okay, how am I going to get to the A gap now that the 3's in my lap? Or if you take a 3 and you widen them out now and the center works back against the shade, that A gap's really wide. And should I take it now, even though the ball's going outside, stuff like that. Run fits get complicated, when the defenders are getting moved and where they're not where they're supposed to be. The next thing is kind of old school. Take the first level to the second and then widen for the third. All right, so we want to take our combinations, and we always want to be in 2-man combinations, specifically in the wide zone game, but even in the power game, if you ever get into a 3-man combo, you're not going to get a lot of movement. It's going to be a shield situation there, when you're into a 3-man combo. And last thing, we want to create a one-on-one for the runner on the defender as deep as possible. So we want that runner to go untouched as deep as we can to the safety, to the corner. Obviously, if it's cover 2, we want it to the safety. If it's cover 4, we want it to the corner. So just some, like I said, just some broad stuff there as far as philosophies go. The next thing, it takes all 11 to run the football. Okay, that's something, the best runners of the ball in the game of football right now. And I think Colgate, Coach Hunt's been here for a long time, and we have always run the ball well. And I think it starts, honestly, it starts with the O-line, but it's the receivers having as much of a buy-in as the offensive line. And some of the clips I'm going to show you about wide receiver blocking, you're going to see that. The quarterback carrying out his fake in order to hold the guy he's supposed to hold. There's all sorts of things, everyone says, the running back's really good and the O-line's good. Well, it takes all 11. All right, and I really think that's something that needs to be it's got to be talked about, it's got to be focused on, and the receivers have to buy into it, as well as the quarterback and the tight end. So that's that one. Seems simple, but sometimes goes unnoticed and not talked about enough, not emphasized enough, I think. So when you look at the run game, you have your wide zones, you have your tight zones, you have gap schemes, jet sweeps, options, all those things, and then you can add as much window dressing as you want. What I mean by window dressing is formations, right, or shifts in motions, but keeping it the same for the guys up front. So anytime you can say same as in the run game, I think is great, right? So like if you're running tight zone right, and okay, now you want to run a jet sweep and read the C gap, right? And read the C gap, tell the guys up front though, hey, you're just blocking tight zone right. Everything else is, now we're taking the jet, the sweep across the face of the quarterback, they're blocking tight zone right, and now we're reading somebody. So anytime you can say same as, I think is huge in the run game.